30 or 3?
30. I mean, I had to drive here.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Cruisin the Planet. I'm your host, Ethan. With us this week is...
Hi, I'm Jake.
And Cole.
And me, your host, Ethan.
You
Nailed
said
it.
that already.
Nailed it. It's been a wild, bit, y'all.
It's been a wild, wild west.
Yesterday
by
was
Will
a bit...
Smith.
Yes. Speaking of music, we have updates and then some drama.
That's a movie.
We'll get to that in a bit. But first, Tarleton State has made tuition cheaper. Not tuition, housing cheaper.
Housing, yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Okay. Go.
No one here stays on... No, Cole, you stay on campus.
Yeah, I stay on campus. But I didn't hear anything about it except from Facebook. So
Same here.
I
My mother...
probably would have preferred to hear that from the housing office, like to email me or something, but you know. Continue with your story, Ethan.
Sorry, I'm trying to like type it in to my notes here because I didn't beforehand. Housing price. Boom. Never mind. Okay. So if we in the housing options, I wasn't able to find any like comparison charts that showed the difference. We all just received an email through Stat. Did you not?
Well,
Maybe I get weird emails that I'm not supposed to
I
get.
mean,
I'm
sometimes
starting
you
to
do
think.
though, because
Every once in a while, I do get the strange ones, don't I?
I get, if I get an email that has zero relevance to me, I ignore it.
Yeah.
That's how I avoid phishing scams.
there's
That's
been a lot of those lately.
that's clever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten a lot of those.
I got like one a while ago.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You didn't get that whole email from Tarleton PD that was like, "Do not fall for this scam," and there have been a couple throughout the summer.
I've only seen like one so far.
I got the one that was like, we're getting phishing scams, and I didn't get any phishing scams.
But I think like
Really?
when I got
Yeah.
mine, like
Definitely
What's
got-
up, Jake?
I think that I got like maybe like 20 and I just blocked them out because that's just what I do.
You got 20 phishing scam requests?
I don't know.
They
I only
asked-
noticed one.
You got 20 people asking to steal your info.
I only-
Maybe my information's useless.
Yeah, maybe you need to get some better information.
That's rude of you, Jake.
Well, hey, man.
But then again, what is it? The
job.
proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
We don't get pudding here.
So, what do you mean, like, we don't get pudding here? It's a refrigerated
We
dairy
don't have
product.
pudding.
You can go to HEB for that.
Yeah, Cole doesn't shop at HEB.
That's a dang
No.
shame.
Yeah, well, welcome to Texas. We have something called an HEB.
Yeah.
It's Walmart to the
It's-
people outside of
well-
the
Well,
area.
it's not really Walmart though.
It's Publix.
What?
Florida equivalent of HEB.
Okay.
That's the only other place we have.
Yeah, that's like the only other place I can equate it to. There's probably something in Cali too, but
It's
I
not
don't
Walmart
know.
because it's not like a department store. HEB is
Mm.
just groceries.
So it's more
and
like Kroger.
some pharmaceuticals.
That's true. Very few pharmaceuticals. All off-brand. That's actually like HEB's whole thing is local foods.
Yeah.
Local brands. Every HEB I've been to, totally different and independent.
Oh, absolutely. Like the HEB here is kind of meh. The one in Granbury
San
is
Antonio.
the one in
Oh.
Granbury is really good.
North San Antonio, it's crazy.
You could buy,
South
like,
San Antonio, crazier.
You can I know in Granbury you can get like $1,000 bottle of wine at
Get
HEB.
weird beef in South San
Yeah.
Antonio.
That's San Antonio.
But
That's the land of Fiesta, Texas.
That's insensitive.
Six Flags. Six Flags.
Okay. Maybe we should get back to the housing.
I want to go
Housing.
back to Six Flags.
Housing, you can, and in Japan, you better not speak.
Yeah,
You saw that news?
I'm not gonna go Fuji Q Highlands. I want to go to Six Flags or Cedar Point.
Cole, did you not know?
No.
A little bit of Twitter update. You're not allowed to scream if you're on a theme park. Theme park?
Yeah, on roller coasters in
Roller
Japan. You're
coasters
not
in
allowed
Japan.
to screen.
It's an ordinance.
But
Or
like
a-
I said,
a
I have
rule.
zero plans to go to Fuji Q Highlands. I want to go to Six Flags.
There's a Six Flags in Fort Worth.
I know.
Just go there. You don't have to go to San Antonio. That's like an 8-hour drive, bro.
Yeah, that one's Fiesta, Texas is a lot better though.
I see. You
Yes.
don't think all the other people are going to be there? All right. Little bit, like, summer is coming to a close.
Which is
So-
sad.
How, Cole, you were able to perform one of these, and albeit when we talked, it was very
Okay.
stressful. But a vacation,
Oh.
Yeah,
how do you do a vacation with COVID summer?
you just Just go somewhere where people aren't at.
Go somewhere that you can socially distance,
So none of the popular places,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
I suppose.
And traveling.
Yeah.
Can't be by plane, can't be by boat.
You go in your
Private
car.
plane. My dad
Road
wants a
trip.
private plane.
Private plane or road trip.
Yeah.
The point that I'm getting at is, what is y'all's situation? Like, what do you do in a road trip? What's your role?
I'm a driver.
Y'all d-
Music.
Oh. So we got a control freak here. And we got a control freak?
Yes, I bring like anytime I go on a road trip.
Because I know you're all about CDs, Jake. So
I bring 15 CDs. Some of them are double albums, so that might bump it up to like 20. And yeah,
Yeah?
just listen to those on the way to wherever.
Well, mostly I get car sick,
Mm-hmm.
so I have to drive or else I'll get extremely car sick.
Right.
So unless you want to be pulling over like every hour or so for me to puke,
Hour? Gross. That's awful.
then
Here's
I
the
gotta
problem.
drive.
I got family in Montana, right?
Yeah.
Very safe from COVID. Very safe from everything, actually. Except the Russians. A bunch of missile silos up there.
Dang.
That's like the only threat.
Well, it's not the Russians that are going to be after them. We're kind of friends with Russia now.
Yeah.
It's
That was-
China.
That was just
China.
when my dad was growing up,
Yeah.
to be completely honest.
China's going to be the one who's
Now you
gonna
can
get-
renovate those and live in them. Speaking of living,
Housing.
housing's $500 cheaper. That's the number that I heard was being thrown around.
Okay.
All right? Anyone else hear anything? I mean, we're apartment gang, right, Jake?
Yeah, I don't
We're
do-
actually both on the same side of town in the apartment gang.
Yeah.
We can visit, well,
I guess.
let's see. I'd have to
We could
exit
probably
the other way.
We could
We
probably
could visit in that big old parking lot,
Oh yeah,
have
like
a big picnic.
yeah. It's not like anyone will be there.
Like everyone.
Yeah.
I
could go
honestly
to-
haven't heard much about the housing thing. I mean, I
No?
saw it on Facebook, obviously.
My
and
mother
I
sent me
didn't
a message.
I
She
did
was
not
so
get
concerned.
any emails. I just searched my emails for housing, and
I
I
got-
didn't get any
I got
emails.
one email immediately.
And I am on campus. I mean, technically, I'm in the apartments on campus.
Right? Do you think
Um,
that's
I
on
don't
the
think they
dorms?
care about you, Cole.
Yeah, you're too
Honestly,
small.
they forget about us a lot.
You're a little box of complaints,
There
aren't
was
you?
there
Aren't
was
you?
like 3 weeks during
What's up?
quarantine where we didn't have a dumpster. They
Huh?
just took it.
What?
They just took it, and then we had nowhere to. Yeah, I'm not even kidding.
That's why you got to play like Jet Set Radio with
What?
a dump truck.
Yeah, people just started setting their trash.
You just have to
outside.
get on some rollerblades and catch a truck.
Yeah, and listen.
Is
to
that
some,
what you're getting at,
listen to
Jake?
some sick tunes
Yeah.
too. We provide those on KXTR.
We do provide those here at KXTR 100.7 The Planet out of Stephenville. Sorry, I'm going into breaks.
Yeah, we're going we're going into promoting our station. You could tune in online. That'd be pretty.
KXTR.com/network. Hit the listen live button on the first part of the
That'd be
page.
pretty schwanky. Listen to that while you rollerblade over the trash
Yeah.
truck to throw your trash in there. 'Cause
That
they
is some
stole your dumpster.
that is some cyberpunk transhumanism stuff, isn't
I
it?
love
That's
it.
a future world that I don't want to live in.
It is a future world I
People
want to
just
live
steal
in.
your dumpsters.
People like rolling dumpsters, they don't stop anymore.
Oh man, that'd
you
be
have to catch them.
um,
Like people will
Throw
pay
'em.
people will pay you to catch their trash can for them. So you could, as a job, just
Wrangled trash
wrangle
cans.
trash.
that sounds
That's-
like a crazy idea.
A crazy idea?
Yeah,
Why is that?
sounds pretty bananas.
Pretty
I'm gonna
bananas.
Be real with you.
No, that's the world we're moving towards.
Yeah.
Well, at least the housing prices have gone down a little bit, so
At
that's nice
least-
for people.
It's gonna be closer to me getting my robot arms.
See, that's
See, I'm trying to stay on task.
we always got to get Jake involved with robot arms. That's how you wake him. He did just wake up like 30 minutes before this.
Yeah.
that's
So you got to get him with that shot of adrenaline before he's involved in the conversation. Jake, are you awake?
I am awake.
Good. Housing for students, how do we think that's going to affect enrollment, not only for freshmen, but also how many classes are actually going to be online? Because I have heard no more information, even from
Yes.
professors, about what is and is not online. And in 4 days, we will be 1 month away from the first day of class. And I know that's like
I
I've
guess-
spaced it out weird. but that's like a big deal.
As far as marketing goes, like this whole housing thing, like if we take the human out of the equation here,
Right, as a proper business, as our good little capital.
Looking at it in a marketing standpoint,
What's up?
when you drop prices or you give discounts or whatever, you're trying to encourage people to come.
Exactly.
So is that what Tarleton is trying to do? Or
Sale, buy now. Is that what we're saying to everyone?
So we're encouraging people to come onto campus and do in-person classes, even though we're offering freshmen online.
Let me see if I can pull up the little notification and read it off. So I believe my mother sent it to me.
And again, I'll go the other way too. It is good that we're giving a break to students because students really need a break.
Tarleton University reduces cost of housing for students. That was on Tuesday, is when that was released. Stephenville, Texas, Tarleton State University students will see a decrease in on-campus residential rates for the upcoming academic year thanks to approval this spring by the Texas A&M University System Board of Regents to purchase private student housing projects and terminate ground leases. And I believe the number they were throwing around there is $500 per student. So it seems like this is something, then technically they've been on this plan for a long time.
Right, so this is prior COVID.
This is prior COVID. It just seems, because whenever...
Convenient.
It just seems convenient.
That they were to announce it now.
They were to announce it now instead of sort of like chilling out and waiting. Because like, if you don't have to lower prices, you're not going to. That's just market.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I suppose so, yeah.
So, are we thinking, like... Suddenly, if you were coming into class if you were coming into Tarleton on instead of working 2 jobs or doing the like job and a half situation that some people do, but you're here on scholarship and loans, suddenly classes are like you have an extra $500 every single semester to burn. Is that enough incentive? Like that improves either quality of life. Because that's $125 a month because it's 4-week semester, right? No, 4-month semester, sorry.
Yes.
16 weeks, 4 times 4. Don't worry about the numbers here, but that's what we're talking about. Shoot. You have an extra $125 a month for something. You can put that into I think that's almost the cost of 1 class. Jake, you good?
I'm good. Don't worry about me.
You were giving me the wild eyes.
Hold on. Just keep talking.
All right. You are on camera, Jake.
I know I'm on camera, but I also need caffeine.
He's going for the crisp, refreshing taste of a generic red beverage. You can find these at your supermarket anywhere actually.
Anywhere.
I've found them in the ocean. I've found them in lakes.
That's not good.
I've found them in rivers. I find aluminum cans everywhere
Look,
I go.
I needed to throw it away, and the river was right there.
I put them there, actually. Joke's on you. It was me.
Well, it was me, too.
The medicine has yet to kick in. That's why I'm like this.
Good.
At least that's my excuse. Woo.
Dude, excuses are really cool.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
And do we think that this $500 incentive, honestly, because it's being marketed as such, is this an excuse to push people to do less online classes?
Probably. I'd say so, yeah.
So they've
Well, I guess.
What's up?
In a way, Tarleton can make itself more marketable just because there are so many online avenues for university right now. Like a student who had a rough time with COVID and was at Tarleton this spring semester could essentially, instead of taking classes here this fall, they could do classes at an online university and just transfer in when everything blows over. So I guess in a sense, Tarleton is trying to be more marketable to those returning students.
Yeah. Hard marketing in economic terms are happening right now.
Economy.
Most certainly.
I mean, I know $125 doesn't seem like a lot to some people. It could mean I can pay rent or I can buy food.
Dude,
for the month, you know?
$125 is like half a check. That's half a month pay.
Yeah.
That's money on the table. Basically, that's $20 an hour, right then and there for that, or like not $20.
No,
That's
not
20.
20.
That's 20 hours of work
Yes.
from that week.
Yeah.
Just
It's nice.
it's a part-time job.
It's not
relief.
Unfortunately, it's not like a dent in whatever other things we have to pay.
No, but again,
as
if you're
college
already on
students.
loan, I don't know if this is going to affect you. If you're on scholarship, this is definitely going to help things.
Yes, definitely.
If you're on if you're on my plan, or like our plan, realistically, this could be really beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the cost of housing is now cheaper. I don't know if this affects the cost of meal plans as well, because I know
Right,
that if you're
because
on
with
housing,
housing, you have to
you
have,
have to have a meal
plan.
plan. I don't know the adjustment on any of those.
And you
But
can only pick from so many if you're
yeah,
on campus.
but this mixed in with the new condos that have been built in town really does push the level of we need a lot of Stephenville, the city, genuinely needs a lot of people to come back in fall.
Yes. I mean, Stephenville, I know a lot of people don't like it, especially Stephenville citizens, but Stephenville runs on Tarleton.
Yeah.
It truly does, with all the businesses and everything.
Mm-hmm. The conveniences run on Tarleton, most certainly. I mean, to be frank, I don't think we'd have another Beans and Franks without them. There's 2 in town now.
Yes, there
There's
are 2.
2 McDonald's. There's a Wendy's opening
There's
up
like
by
3
the Sonic.
subways.
There's 2 Sonics.
There's what?
Like 3 subways.
Okay, I know the one.
There's
Okay, I
too
know the
many.
one by the McDonald's on that side.
There's
I know
one by
the
the
one.
Staples.
Yeah, I know the one by the Staples. I know the. What's the third one?
Walmart.
There's one.
Oh, there
it's
is
in
one
Walmart.
Walmart.
It's
yeah.
inside of Walmart. Yeah, that doesn't count.
It totally counts.
No.
There are 3 subways in
No,
Stephenville,
that's a Walmart.
and we're just now getting an Aldi.
It's a little Walmart inside of Walmart.
What?
Sub-based
We're also
Walmart.
getting a Wendy's.
We are getting a Wendy's.
The Wendy's is
Honestly, what
being-
we need a second of is Whataburger.
I already live close to
That's
a
very
Whataburger.
no,
so.
Jake. But it's never accessible, and it never will be ever again.
They always have
As
2
soon as
lines.
They have ever since COVID started. To be completely
Yeah.
honest, here's the deal: like a little bit of local news for everyone who's currently listening to this at home. Students not in Stephenville area right now. The Walmart, the HEB, and the Whataburger are busy, sun up to sundown. Whataburger
Whataburger is constantly
24/7 busy, except for like 6 a.m.
Which that's when I get my Whataburger.
So you've done it, Jake. you've tricked everyone.
You're the
beat it.
minute.
I beat it.
You've beat the system
Percentage.
because you found a
Let
way
me
to
tell you
jump through
something.
the hoop.
Let me tell you.
Yes,
3
sir. Yes,
o'clock.
sir.
3 o'clock Whataburger is the best Whataburger ever.
AM or PM?
A.M.
3 a.m. That's when I get, dude. That's when I'm trying to find snacks from insomnia when I get off my other job.
What's a better snack than some Whataburger?
I'm not gonna wait 30 minutes for Whataburger.
Yeah, because no one's there though. No one's there
Yes,
at 3 a.m.
Jake, they are though.
They
They
are.
aren't. I'm the one who buys there. There's like 2 or 3 people, and that's like most.
Too many people. You see, too
Lanes.
Too many people. Done.
There are 2 lanes, and they always go into the Washington, which is the busiest road in Stephenville.
Yes.
So both
Can't
lanes.
wait. Can't wait for
block
Christie Plaza to
traffic.
open up. That light is active, and it makes me upset. I don't like it. I don't like that Aldi gets its own light, but the Panda Express is like still dangerous to enter.
Yeah.
It is. The Panda Express is incredibly dangerous to get into. So is the Wendy's.
Oh yeah.
Like get to the Wendy's from here. Get to the Wendy's from here. You gotta go out. You gotta drive. You gotta swing a left onto the. Let's see. Let's leave out this way by the Bosque Crossing and the
The road.
Baptist Student Ministry.
Yeah.
Take a left on the Lily's and Cece
Yeah.
or Little Caesars.
Yes.
That's a dangerous corner because it's a perfect 90 degrees on everything, and there's a huge crown on that. It's constantly busy. You go straight into a light. Take a left. I don't think so, man. That's a turn. Or do you want to shoot through it and then take a left, like on the other side of the light, in the
Oh my
most
God.
dangerous sonic exit to ever exist?
Oh my God. Don't even
Jake, I don't know if you-
enter that
if- I don't-
Sonic that way.
Jake-
I'd go around like to Alexander and turn.
that whole area where like you've got the Golden Chick, you've got the Sonic, you now have a Wendy's. There's the Lily's with the
Yeah.
best sodas in town. There's this Caesar's Pizza.
Yeah.
That's where all of the cheap food is, and it's the most dangerous to get to. You got to risk life and limb, or you go to the Subway or the Beans and Franks. That's like your upper
Or-
to middle class,
You walk.
or you walk.
Which I do that sometimes.
And because of the construction, still dangerous.
Yeah.
The
Whenever
new
I
apartment complex.
The edge.
Whenever I used to
Brand
live
new
in
one, sir.
whenever I used to live in Granbury, and like I'd have a 4-hour gap, I would just walk to lunch
Mhm.
just to walk there. It was fun.
4-hour lunch.
Oh yeah, it was great.
That's like a shift off. That's not a lunch, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
To be completely honest.
Well, I mean that was before I had a job.
Oh, I see.
You know,
I
so it was
see.
like I'd have morning classes and late classes.
Got it.
And it's like it wouldn't be really worth it to drive back
Yeah.
to Granbury.
'Cause
So all I would do is
Because
put
it's
on
a 1-hour drive or 2-hour drive.
it's a 45.
All right, so an hour and a half round
it's a
trip.
45
Yeah.
if you speed.
So it's a 45. I was talking to Jake the other day, and it's a 45-minute drive.
Well, people say Weatherford's a 45-minute drive, and as a person who had to drive there on a regular basis when I worked in Weatherford, it's not a 45-minute drive
I mean,
unless you speed.
It is Texas.
Well, I will say that Granbury's a 45-minute drive without speeding
Mm.
because I would drive that road all the time, and it was always like a consistently 45. So.
I-
Do we
Weatherford is
think
not.
a little bit of a side tangent here, but I think it
Sure.
relates with the whole situation of housing being cheap
Okay.
here. There's a lot of also like actual houses I've noticed that have
Yeah, they're for
stayed
rent.
open.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's the rental properties. You're right, but it's all the ones who are still open on like Neblet Road and
Yeah.
things sort of around. I love that
Yeah,
road
boy.
because it's so cryptid.
Yep.
Because it comes straight through here, and then 40 feet to the right is the other half of it. Do you know that? There's
No.
another half of Neblet that continues
I
out
did
north.
not know that.
Yeah, it goes out to the fun
Such a
part
funny
of town
road.
by the Allsups.
Yeah.
It's a weird road. It's a funny road. I got a buddy who lives off of it. All of those little houses on there, though, the one giant living room and the 2-bedroom types.
Yeah.
Basically, the roommate classics, they're all still open. And it makes sense. I would assume that they'd be like open throughout summer just because of the pandemic. But do we think that the lower housing is going to pull people into town, or are we not going to get enough people and now we are all spoiled for choice on jobs and homes?
I think it's just gonna pull people back in town, to be honest.
Enough people are going to come in?
Yeah, enough people. Sorry, parents out there, but enough of your kids are gonna be a little bit tired of staying at home to be like, I'm going back to school.
Nope, that's not an apology. Parents are awful. If your kids are trying to run away from you, you're bad. Like that, right,
or
Jake?
it could just
Yeah,
be
I mean-
you need just space.
I mean, I love
You
my
know?
dad. I'd probably live with him forever if I could.
See, like there. Like Jake's out here because he's trying to become his own individual adult, and like that's fine.
Yeah.
But you don't have any ill will towards your parents. You
No.
didn't move out because it was easier to do. You moved out because it was something that could help you.
Yeah.
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 You're here for like financial and logistical reasoning,
Yeah. Pretty much.
right? I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure, I'm very positive there are some people who come to college just to get away from their family.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I am friends with some people like that.
Yeah. Hey, don't out anybody.
I'm not gonna out anybody, but
Let's slow it down.
I just know one of my friends is not super on good terms with his parents, but
Mm,
it's all good. It's all good. So don't worry about it.
yeah.
Well, I just think there are going to be a lot of people that like excuse me.
Yeah. Bless you.
Serious. Specifically in Stephenville of all places,
Mhm.
and most of the students who go to Tarleton will likely either not care about COVID or just want to come back to get away from everything else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I fear the fact that we are just on the edge of small town,
yeah.
that there's a level of protection here because comparatively a lot of the people who come into town are from,
Out of town.
you got me there. They're from larger areas.
Yeah.
Right? So doing community college in a larger area is empirically more dangerous. If you wanted to go to Tarrant County, that is the one of the third most infected counties. They have a lot of good community colleges up in Tarrant, and they do a lot of online programs, but they also have a lot of really nice. They have 4 campuses
Right.
for Tarrant County Community College alone. I did some community college back in the day. I'm very young. Don't take that as anything. But some people might think that we're safe here.
Yeah.
When perhaps like the incentive being pulled here, and then the availability, all the new construction, the new jobs of that, then all of the new housing, and then cheaper rent, along with the fact that this place is very vacant and there's very little going on. Like, the town is very self-contained.
Definitely.
Do we think that the large influx is going to cause a sort of like false idea of the first week of classes will look completely normal? Like, I'm worried that that's what it's going to look like personally.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's going to be that way too. At least that's my fear.
Mm-hmm.
But did you hear that A&M is doing free COVID testing?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yes,
That's-
that includes Tarleton. So they're supposedly getting like
How many, how soon, and how often?
monthly.
Sick?
I don't remember the number. I'm not going to even try because I don't want to say anything
Mhm.
wrong. But Tarleton is supposed to be included in that, and they're supposed to get monthly like shipments of tests to test students.
Awesome.
So we might actually get an influx of cases, and just because we'll be testing more students, and it will be through the campus.
Well, it's a lot better to test and then know to like shut it down for a
Mhm.
weekend than to like not do anything.
Yeah,
And
it's
have
just
an infection.
it's also going to be
infestation.
it's also going to be better for students who can't go to another testing facility,
Mm-hmm.
be that price, or just like you
Yeah.
only stay on campus, don't have access to a car as much, or
What is the price of a test now, like currently?
apparently
Do we
pretty
know?
expensive. I don't know the current number, but
I mean,
It's
there is
said
a
that it's
high demand
expensive.
for it.
This
Yes.
is true. This is very true, and it's understandable because we live in a free market. So you're allowed to charge whatever you want. Just don't expect everyone to pay that much. However, don't be a complete jerk like the insulin people. Let's let's hurry this up.
Yeah.
Let's maybe get rid of the patent. Not very in favor of patents.
Oh,
I'm-
is this a whole thing we're doing?
If you want.
Yeah, we got
Well,
20
y'all
minutes. We got
do-
20 minutes.
well, y'all do that. I'm looking up how much they cost.
Yeah. All right, 20 minutes. Let's go patents.
Okay, so my whole thing with patents is I understand the purpose of them. The problem is they have been very vastly abused by the pharmaceutical industry in order to cut off certain important drugs from the market in
Mhm.
order to make them basically the monopoly owner of said drugs.
Mhm.
So it's
Do we have anything we want to talk about specifically, or is it more so just generally big pharma?
I mean, it is mainly big pharma, like
Okay.
there is other examples of kind of like people taking stuff in like that they patented and just holding on to it just for the sake of it.
Mhm.
Like I think Konami had a patent for like mini games you could play during a loading screen, which is a really cool concept, but no one was able to like utilize it because they had a patent on it.
Mhm.
I'm very not in favor of the idea of like blocking stuff off for the market. I feel like
Is this kind of following along the same arguments as IPs and
Sort of, yeah.
What was it? Common what's it
copyright.
called? Copyright, yeah.
Yes, it's a very similar thing with my opinion on patents is very similar to copyright.
What's up?
In that I believe that it should exist, but not nearly as long as we're letting it.
Mhm.
And the only reason why it lasts as long as it is because corporations lobby for it in order to make sure that they're the only ones because ultimately a really long patent life only really affects large companies that already own said patents.
Right.
So if we were to shorten the length of a patent, that would be a lot more beneficial to the little man, but it wouldn't be as beneficial to the corporations who are able to profit off of it.
Mhm.
Because it's like I understand the purpose of it. It's supposed to sort of incentivize people who are creative and make things that are incredibly useful but really cheap to produce,
Mhm.
to give them a sort of like a leg up, so someone else
Yeah.
can't just make a cheaper alternative and like,
Right.
oh, well, all my research was for nothing. I get the purpose of that, which is why I'm not in favor of abolishing patents entirely, but I do think that there should be
Similar to, I just lost the phrase that I was looking for. Public domain.
yes.
That's what it was. It's similar to public domain.
Yes.
Things should enter the public domain sooner.
yes.
So patents should still exist, but you should be allowed 5 to 10 years instead of like the 30 to 40
Yeah,
or
pretty
the
much.
constant re-ups to
Mhm.
be able to like you've made it through, you've made your tests, you've made everything.
Because patents do expire eventually. I just don't think they should. I think they should expire a lot sooner than they currently do.
More frequently.
Yes, especially for certain drugs. You know, like
Mhm.
it's a really hard line, because it's like if we remove patents entirely, then pharmaceutical companies just will not be doing research to make new breakthroughs and make new drugs.
Mhm.
So it's like it's kind of a necessary evil, so to say. But that's also to say that I think that they shouldn't be going on for as long as they are. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's basically my opinion on that.
All right, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Did you find the term?
Yes, I got the numbers.
All right.
So it really depends on what type of COVID test you're getting.
Okay.
And it also depends on where you're getting it from, like what hospital, because they can pretty much vary their price or their discount.
Through markup and discount.
Mm-hmm. But this article from CNN, that was published yesterday, said it can be between $20 to $850 for each test.
That's a pretty big swing.
Yes, it is. They said the typical price, because like I guess you can charge up to $850. The typical list price was for $127, but some of them were $200.
So
Yeah, it depends on where you get it from. If you're insured,
yeah.
then you'll likely pay a bigger price,
Oh.
is what it's saying. And then if you're not insured, there are some programs you can get free testing and discounted testing.
Okay. Let's take the average number of 120 something.
Yeah, 127.
Let's take the average number of 127. That's about the discount that you're going to be getting from that $500 off a month. Do
Yeah.
we think? I mean, this is a little conspiratorial to
That
say
is
that those
too
numbers line up.
conspiratorial. I see
That's
that.
too convenient and easy. But rather, like a little bit of realism. Is this discount genuinely something that's going to happen now that we all have to consider we're in large groups, 20 to 30?
You think we'll have to be
person
tested
groups.
monthly?
I mean, I would only assume so, that you'd have monthly tests, because here's the deal. How do you do contact tracing with students who have 4 to 6 classes every single day if you include
Think about
labs?
professors.
That gets even more complex on top of that.
Yep.
One professor gets ill, doesn't show symptoms for a week.
Asymptomatic.
Right.
Like,
Let's not even go there. Let's say they show symptoms after 5 classes or 5 days. They can have roughly 3 classes a day, probably, just because they're so intensive and they require a lot of setup and tear down. Especially
some
along
have
with
more than
notating.
that, some have less.
Let's
but
take 3 average. So that's 3 classes, 20 students, 20 to 35 students apiece. Let's cut it at average 27. So
not Scoggins class.
one professor gets. All right, we're not here to name and shame, Cole. Come on.
No,
now.
I'm just saying that
Dude.
like biology.
Doxers, am I right, Jake?
And I know that.
I'm just saying biology is
Mm-hmm.
the whole entire.
Department is 1 class.
No, this auditorium in the science building
yeah.
is incredibly
the,
large.
The one that fits 1 million people.
Yeah, right about.
It's right. It's literally 2 stories tall. The one classroom.
Yep.
You can walk in to that classroom on one level and leave on a totally different level.
Yeah.
Yep.
And get lost. I've done it twice. I've gotten lost twice just in that room.
Dude,
It was
that room.
weird. Chem 2, man. It was strange. But let's take that 27 students exposed every single day. Or classes
For
are
5 days.
Yeah, well, classes are even and odds. So
yeah,
let's say
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days. Well, 2 days.
Okay.
Because if they get sick on Monday, they'll feel really bad on Friday, and because it's in the public conscious to I feel bad, I should double check for
Yeah.
everyone's safety, right?
Mm-hmm.
they postpone class. Professors postpone class for less, anyways.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
Both classes have 2 chances of getting exposed. People usually sit in the same seats, but if you got if you got the front row, 6 people is at the front row.
Yeah, if you
usually
got closer than 6
You know what I
feet
mean?
or about 6 feet from the front row.
Yeah, that's the front row. In a science room, that's you've easily gotten the front row. In humanities, you've easily gotten everyone in the front row sick. There's a couple of professors I know who sit just at their podium, so those are probably safe. And we'll probably have to induce some sort of rule or a crackdown on faculty and staff to be podium only.
Yeah.
Because if you're being interactive, you're dangerous.
I mean, at the same time, though, I
because
know
you
we've
can
been
very easily get 12 people sick in 1 week for just one class from one professor, and that compounds. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of this, right?
If we also think about 6 feet is what everyone's been saying for social distance and how it started from the beginning, but you can get people sick airborne in a whole room if you're in there over 15 minutes.
If you're yelling or breathing really
if you're yelling,
hard.
I know some profs who will yell. So,
prof starts yelling, you're like, hey, biohazard. Chill it out, calm it down. Yeah.
Yeah. Are we gonna start giving people face shields too, in
That'd be kind of
classroom?
cool. Okay, real talk. A little bit of transhumanism, Jake. So you might enjoy this.
Oh dear.
boy.
Full-on helmets.
What do you mean?
Rebreathers. You familiar with the concept?
Sort of, I think, yeah.
It refiltering the oxygen that's already in your lung through a little exterior system.
Yeah.
So that
And
just
then
happens
gives it
to
back
have
to
a
you.
filter and gives it back to you. So all it does is oxygen goes in, and then CO2 goes out almost completely. It's used it's used in diving and stuff, but a helmet to keep you completely safe.
Can't be used for a very long amount of time, but
No.
classes are usually
Classes
an hour.
are 45 minutes to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So at minimum a full-on mask in class. What are we thinking? Because that's getting a little cyberpunk.
Expensive.
Yeah.
I have considered bringing a gas mask into work.
Yeah, I think you should bring it into work just because I want to see your gas mask. 'Cause I know we've talked about it.
I need to. I just need
I
to.
want a plague mask.
I just.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I need to talk to you in 4 seconds.
Okay.
I just. I need to get another filter for it. Is the problem?
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
It's super old and it's like.
Is it the glass pane eyes?
It's an Israeli gas mask.
Okay.
So if you want to look up Israeli gas mask, that'll be the first one that comes up.
I'm gonna take a little peek. Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else on that?
Not really. Just that the filter's really old and I don't feel comfortable wearing it with a filter.
M15. Oh. I see. You're playing Stalker in real life.
Absolutely.
It reminds me of
love
that one Doctor Who episode that was "Are you
That's
my
the
mummy?
scariest episode to ever
Are you
exist.
my
That's the first
mummy?
episode of Doctor Who I ever saw.
Great.
Now you can imagine why the station shorts are all the way they are.
Yes.
I was scarred at a young age, and I'm
I love that
basically scar
episode.
tissue now.
Yes.
You can be a plague doctor right now. Do you know why they had the bird noses on the masks?
They put incense in it, right, or
No,
something?
they put all kinds of scents into it. They filled the bad boy with little pieces of copper. They filled the bad boy with little bits of silver. They filled it with oils. They filled them with flowers, things that smelled nice. Because the belief was bad smelling air was bad for you, and that's half true. Because if somebody reeks, they're bad for you. Easy. If something smells good, they probably got their stuff together. Things that smelled bad were the germ causers back during the plague days. And they were technically right because, airborne things come from different situations. Basically, if you throw some essential oils or some perfume onto your masks, you're a plague doctor.
Yeah.
That is true. That is a complete fact.
But I want
You
a
do
mask
have
that
to
actually
beat people
functions.
with canes, though.
What?
Yeah.
No, sorry. You get to beat people with a cane.
You
that
should,
was
though.
That was a plague doctor's whole thing, is they have a cane to poke you with, so they didn't actually touch you.
Oh.
So everyone
6
gets a
feet
6-foot walking stick.
Yeah.
We're right back where we started.
I just want to beat people with the cane.
I want a functional plague mask.
And what do you
looking
mean
thing.
by functional?
I mean serves as much function as this. The mask that we all wear, just
yeah.
in general. Yes.
So, okay. I've personally been going through a couple of like 3D printing mask designs and stuff from the library. The biggest problem I'm having is sweat. All right, if we want to take this like a realism situation, all right, all of the buildings are air conditioned, yes.
Yes.
But it's fall semester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything bigger than like Green Goblin from Spider-Man 3 is going to be too much. That's just a fact. Jake is going to melt and die inside of his Israeli mask, but he's going to look super cool. He's going to look badass dead on the sidewalk.
So I mean, even
like
just
Jake, it'll be very thematic. Please bring a cassette player and record your last moments.
All right.
even just
It's
the
only fair to the
regular like
protagonist.
single, even like this single layer mask is really hot here.
Mm-hmm.
And especially anywhere that's extremely humid. It's just like
That's actually
pouring sweat.
why Stephenville is so much better than Fort Worth right now.
Right.
Because their masks are difficult to wear. I had my brother graduated high school, and so I
Yeah.
wore my big giant mask
Yes.
to his graduation, and boy howdy was it humid.
Mm.
Even at night, it was humid. Oh, so humid. So much water in the air for no good reason. Stephenville's very dry, so I think we can get away with it,
Yeah.
Mhm.
personally.
Yeah.
But we got to figure out the proper way to do it. I personally think full-on helmet, because then you can also put in a little cooling system,
Mm.
like a really little one.
Tiny.
Little tiny little man with an ice cube
You know what?
running around in
My
one.
grandpa has this cowboy hat that has a fan in the top, and it's powered. It's a solar powered fan.
That's genius.
Yeah.
That's incredibly
So
powerful.
he wears it
Hold on,
and it goes
Cole. You might be onto something there. Solar power your filters. Is that like anything, Jake?
I don't trust solar power personally, so
What?
I don't.
What?
Oh
I
my
don't-
god.
What part are you not? Walk me through that whole statement. You don't trust solar power.
I don't trust solar
Okay,
power.
first off, what part of solar power do you not trust?
The energy it produces.
You don't like the electricity that comes from the solar cells?
Like, I mean, like, the solar power doesn't work. You know?
Jake,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
Doesn't work.
Like, light hits
It's not enough.
the panel. Okay? Light hits the panel.
Yeah.
And, like, we're both agreeing on that part, yeah?
Yeah, I guess.
And then,
you know, if you want to describe whatever that is out there as
Sunlight.
okay, he's just doing this to me to upset me.
But please do explain how solar panels work.
No, I don't think I will.
Oh, but I wanted to know.
I can. God. Why do you do this?
to test you.
What if I. You don't think I've been tested enough, boy?
No, he doesn't.
Get down here.
I don't either.
Get down here. Come
He's
here.
already here in this room with you right now.
Got him.
Not there.
The way solar panels are
Light hits
supposed to
the
work.
pan.
Light hits the panel. It is it's a conversion of energy.
Mhm.
It basically both heats up the panel, and then
Yes.
you keep checking the time so you can get out of here, huh? Little light
Our
denier.
listeners are generally curious about this.
The light hits the panel.
Yes.
The panel
Heats up.
heats up a little bit,
Mhm.
converts a little bit of that into electricity if
Uh-huh.
you've got the higher end ones, but for the most part you have a photoconductive cell that just straight up converts light energy into electrical potential. And that potential is put over a resistor, and that causes electric flow and current. It's really simple. It's just a converter.
Okay.
Similar to how your
Thank you.
barbecue lighters work.
Yeah.
Barbecue lighters use what's called a piezoelectric crystal. Basically, you put pressure on it, and it converts that pressure, that physical force, into a electrical force. It creates an electric potential. Again, that potential runs over a resistor, electric current, fire.
Yes.
Right? It's a sparker, and that spark lights a different fuel, and that's a whole nother process of chemical stuff.
Thank you.
There's also thermal cells. If you want to get into what piezoelectric was able to do, there's thermoelectric cells. The ones that are my personal favorite, because you set a big old plate of steel out with like black spray paint on it. It heats up during the day with the sun. That steel plate is in contact with a thermoelectric crystal array that generates a potential, runs over a resistor, makes a current, snap and a crack. And then the way that they work is if you are also emitting light, you can technically emit light from one of these as well. It's very inefficient though. Don't do it.
Unless you want to, be fun.
I mean, technically, you can use LEDs. Like these are fluorescent tubes, so those don't work. But like LED lights can technically vacuum photons.
I don't trust the sun either.
Ooh. Do you not trust plants?
I'm a vampire.
I
Got it.
I think it's
It
more
all
like
makes
he
sense.
just doesn't believe there are planets.
Simulation theory?
There's a bird out there.
There is a bird out there.
There's a window next for podcast listeners.
Yeah, for
there's
the
a window
podcast
next
listeners.
to it.
Nah. Exclusive content. Only for the
Exclusive content. Get
Exclusive.
on our YouTube video. Follow the links in the description.
They can't see the window either.
You can turn
No,
the
they
thing.
can't. Oh, here.
Turn
One
the
second,
thing.
audience.
Exclusive content for the YouTube.
I
That
actually I
did
don't have
not
the right
work.
screen.
You could take the camera off and like,
Bop-bada-boopy.
Okay, now
Because
they can see.
OBS has a little peek behind the curtain, listeners. OBS has a 3-second delay to the YouTube stream that you're
just in
watching.
case we say something bad.
Just in case I break something, because I've done it before. I've broken things. There it is, in the Switch.
Oh my
Look at that.
That's
Look at that. Yeah. Now we're playing with time. Check this out.
Let's not.
Oh shoot.
no, let's play with time some more.
Jake. I was doing this last night actually. I was having a big talk with my friend on traveling, using the fifth dimension to travel, and you can either have an extra space or an extra timeline to transverse. Because I was playing Titanfall 2, one of the best games to ever be created, right? And they were doing that. I was traveling forwards and backwards in time to solve Portal-esque puzzles. It was really a beautiful experience, like a beautiful hour of gameplay. It was awesome. And it genuinely was. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed all of it.
Thoroughly.
And he was just like, this is time travel. This is thinking 4D. And I was like, actually, bud, this is even cooler than you think. It's 5 dimensions. And then we just got into a whole discussion. And at the end of it, he was like, all right, Ethan, I'm going to bed. And I was like, ah, shoot. I over-explained it again. As usual.
As usual.
Is anything that we missed talking about
I mean, we
things
were
going
talking
on in
about,
town?
Is there anything? I don't think there's
I
anything happening
think
in town.
the safest way to get because there's going to be so many people coming back into town. Like, closing thoughts.
Yes.
Because everybody is coming back into town, it's either go hard or go home when it comes to personal safety. Literally. Either go all the way in on being safe, not for, like, don't make any compromises on it, or
Don't half wear a
just
mask. Wear it
stay
over your
home.
nose.
If you're going to wear a mask, completely cover your face. If you're going to wear a mask, wear a quality mask. Something that you know isn't going to allow air to travel through without being filtered in some way, shape, or form.
I just stay home all day.
Just stay home. Both are safe.
I mean, I do that anyways. I'm not doing that out of any,
Jake,
desire for safety.
Jake, you're just going to be the one who survives this.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't.
That's it.
I'm going to be the only one who survives this because I don't do it for safety. I do that just because that's my life and I enjoy living my life the way I want to, which is in isolation. Woo!
All right.
That was it. It's perfect.
You're welcome.
It's poetry.
You're welcome.
You're a beautiful human being, Jake. Thank you very much for showing up on this show.
Every day.
I love your insights.
I got a lot of them.
Uh-oh. Well, we hope that the show will continue so we can extract all of them and then create a digital version of Jake.
Just crystallize my knowledge.
Yeah.
Turn it into a giant robot.
Personally, I want to have like a super suit. Not like a super suit, but a suit that makes my life easier by basically just like what they have in like Halo, right?
The end goal of my life is to have have my body turn into the Nixon bot from Futurama.
Oh my god.
with your head in the little tank?
Yeah, just my
Got
head
it.
in a little tank,
Got
and
it.
then I control everything through the gel.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
All right, for you, that makes perfect sense. But until then, you're going to have to keep your brain safe. And as such, you got to keep your body safe. Please, when every single student and their mother come back into town on move-in day, don't touch other people. Don't touch other people's things. Don't breathe anybody's mouth.
Oh, that brings up another point.
Uh-oh.
Are they going to have the move-in volunteers?
I have no clue.
Probably.
We can talk about it next week.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of stuff that was going to be planned for music, but this was a little more important.
Yeah.
Megan Thee Stallion was shot.
Megan Thee Stallion was shot.
But we'll have to talk about that over. I'll tell you about it right after this. Don't worry about it. It's
yeah,
all
don't
right.
worry about it. It's all fine. She's good now. She's good now.
She is okay. Ladies and
But she
gentlemen,
did get shot.
this has been your episode. Stop it. This has been your episode of Cruisin the Planet. We hope you had an enjoyable one. We understand that it was a little rambly today. I feel like it was a little rambly today.
I will say the rambling is important.
And Cole with the classic no comment head shake. If you want to see any of the other things that we produce, you can find them on our YouTube channel or through our social media links in the description of this video or in the description of the podcast.
Yes.
I think it's called the description.
The
Wherever you're finding this content, we make more things. Cole has a new episode of something coming out,
Making space.
and it's about
LGBTQ plus people and religion. So
that's saucy, that's
Yes.
sassy, loving it.
That bird's gone.
Jake's bird watching, but he also did all of the music that we're adding into the station. So if you want to catch any of that online, you can go to kxtr.com. Click on the button. You can now play in your browser. I fixed the website, everybody.
yay. Good
So
job.
all of Jake's hard work can be shown. We will catch all of y'all next week.